Hello and welcome to Rise and Unwind. I'm AV. Each week, we connect with people all over the country to spotlight things you can check out right in your own neighborhood. On this week's show, we've got a little bit of everything, such as this. I see your little friend there poking out.
Oh, my little friend, she's waking up. Yeah, this is Lipstick Liz. She's 3.5 weeks old. We named her after the makeup artist in studio. So
they host what they call SAT boot camps. These are groups of students who gather by video for a few weeks before an SAT, led by a student who's taken the SAT and scored well on it.
All that and more right here on Rise and Unwind.
Ever wonder what would happen if the whole world suddenly got too happy and you were the one person who couldn't go along with it? Apple TV has a brand new series called Pluribus, where a mysterious event connects pretty much everyone, and somehow that perfect world feels like a nightmare. Rhea Seehorn stars as Carol, the most miserable person on Earth, who might be the only person who can stop it. Rhea Seehorn is here with us today. Welcome to the show, Rhea. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well. Thanks.
All right. So for people that are just hearing about Pluribus, what is the simplest way to describe Carol and the moment that her world kind of flips upside down?
Simple? I'm not sure I can pull that one off. Okay. So Carol it kind of is, but was a successful romance novelist, but very much a misanthrope, fault finder, can't enjoy anything, has to say what's wrong with everything, and has this world event happen that moves somewhat like a virus, where everybody except 13 people are immune, and she's one of the immune people to this thing that makes everybody habitually peaceful and content and happy. And they all have one brain. You're still in your own mortal body, but you share one hive mind. Carol thinks this is a horrible thing. And even among the other immune people, a lot of them think, why is this so bad? And that's sort of an integral question that the show explores from a lot of different angles of how do you define happiness? How do you define contentment? How do you define individuality and freedom and success? And what is worth the cost of some of those things?
And it also looks like Carol has this dream life, but she's still miserable, and I can relate. What did you latch onto emotionally when you first read who she is and who she's kind of fighting against?
I felt like wait, say your question again. I'm sorry. I didn't want my cat to bother you.
Oh, no, I'm down with cats. We got cats in our studio, so okay. Cat life is the best life that we have. It was basically saying, when you read the script, what did you latch onto emotionally, and when you saw that she was kind of fighting against the world, I guess?
Yeah, many things. And one of them being that I had to constantly keep in mind that there is a very personal obstacle she has weighing her down. In addition to losing the world, she lost her wife. And we wanted that grief to stay real and present and not just be something that you're just over the next day. And I kind of would start from that place some days, because I thought it's hard to take in, if you're a real person that this is happening to, the larger aspects of what is going on in the world. And there's many times where she's, the Simpsons character of old man yelling at clouds. And she's just the only person screaming and no one understands why. And so I just kept reminding myself to try to be as honest as I could in those moments. And Vince writes in a way that allows those moments of honesty, which I think are always the way to bring the audience in on the journey with me.
And the show plays with this big question, is that joined happiness a utopia, or is it something darker? As an actor, how do you stay grounded in the reality of the story while everything around just kind of feels uncanny?
Just like I was just saying, I just look for what is the real person in the middle of this? What is the real reaction? So yeah, most of us have not had a situation where we felt like the entire world was invaded by some kind of alien virus that was making them happy. But we have all been in rooms, most of us, I think, where you feel like you're the only person shouting that the barn's on fire. Mm-hmm. And you look crazy shouting it. And everyone's like, wow, you should really settle down. And it just is making you crazier and crazier. So I was just constantly look for what are the things that are most like this as if that you can just start the build from there and then raise the stakes.
And you and Vince Gilligan have such a strong creative history. I could tell that there's a big difference in the tone of Pluribus compared to what people might expect from him, but how did he open this up and let you explore in what you did with Carol?
I mean, for some people, this is Vince going back to his roots because he started on X-Files. So they were prepared to have him do sci-fi. He actually told me almost nothing. He just said it has nothing to do with the Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul world. It has a sci-fi element, and I just want to send you the script and see what you think. And I went on the same wild ride that you guys did watching the pilot. I was just like, this is nuts, and this is going to be so much fun.
Ray, I want to thank you for hanging out with me this morning. Pluribus is streaming now on Apple TV. If you like smart sci-fi with suspense, dark humor, and a big, wait, what would I do question or two, this one's going to stick with you. So check it out on Apple TV. Ray, I want to thank you for hanging out with me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You know what happens when life throws everything at you before you even have a chance to figure it out? That's the idea behind Margot's Got Money Troubles, a series that follows a young woman navigating money, identity, and some very unexpected choices along the way. Today, we're joined by Ruthie Thorpe, the author behind the story, and Eva Anderson, executive producer and writer on the series, to talk about bringing this bold, funny, and very real world to life. Welcome to the show, you two. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right, Ruthie, this story started as your novel. What was the moment that you knew Margot's story had to be told in this way?
Well, I think the whole book really began to come together. I'd had this idea for a character who was both a mother and an OnlyFans model, but when I brought in her father, who is an ex-pro wrestler, that's when the draft really started to come alive, was watching the two of them together.
So Eva, when you came on to help adapt it, what stood out to you about Margot as a character?
I mean, Margot's such an interesting character in Ruthie's book. She's very resourceful. She's scrappy. You know, early in the book, she gets pregnant, has an affair with her college professor and gets pregnant, but is very she doesn't blame anyone for it. She just decides to take what life has given her and make something of it. And because of that, you get to follow her into all these really interesting places. She's also just like very funny, and she's very loving, and she's a great mom, and she's a great OnlyFans model. She's somebody you really want to root for, Margot.
And the show balances humor with some really real life struggles. How did you find that tone without losing either side? And how much did you pull from real life moments?
I mean, it all came from Ruthie's book. She has this really interesting tone that's both very, very funny and at times very dark. And I think a lot of it was just our cast. You know, we had Elle Fanning playing Margot, Michelle Pfeiffer playing Cheyenne, her mother, and Nick Offerman playing Jinx, her father, the pro wrestler. And those three could really balance so much in terms of putting them through really difficult things while never losing their heart and their humor and their love for each other.
And there's a lot of themes here. There's money, identity, motherhood, even some internet culture. What do you hope audiences take away after watching?
I hope that they feel more empowered to make their life something they want on their own terms.
The book's and the show's very non-judgmental, and I hope that they don't judge other people and they approach the people they love with love.
And now that people can watch it, what are you most excited for audiences to experience or react to?
Nicole Kidman wrestles Nick Offerman in a pro wrestling ring. And so that's pretty exciting.
I just love getting to see Elle Fanning, this feral and sort of bestial and very much a wrestler's daughter. And also the portrayal of that first postpartum period, I feel like is more accurate than I've seen on TV. And I'm excited for people to see her this way.
You buried the lead with Nicole Kidman and Nick Offerman there. All right.
Yeah. And Michelle Pfeiffer sings. That's also important.
All right. I'm excited for all of this. Margot's Got Money Troubles is now streaming on Apple TV, so you can catch up on the series and see why so many people are already talking about it. Hey, I want to thank you two for joining me today.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for having us.
One bold idea turns a full-blown international mess in Balls Up. It's a fast, over-the-top comedy where marketing stunt goes completely sideways and it doesn't let up. And today, Paul Walter Hauser plays Elijah right in the middle of the chaos. Paul, it's good to have you here, my friend. How are you?
Good to be here, man. Thank you for having me. Yeah, this movie some people might find it far-fetched. Wahlberg and I play two guys who are kind of, co-workers, but also arch nemesises, as it were, if that's a word, nemesises. But we end up at this World Cup game, Brazil versus Argentina, and we ruin the World Cup, and the entire nation of Brazil is after us. So it may seem far-fetched, but, sports fanatics are pretty tribalistic. This is the biggest game of the year. And as we see in baseball sometimes, a fan will get involved in the outfield where they stick their hand out and literally make an outfielder miss a fly ball. So something like this could definitely happen. And far be it from me to think that the Brazil soccer fans wouldn't want to kill two guys that ruined the World Cup.
One way to ruin your life is have a slight moment out on a game or something like that.
Yeah.
The story of this kicks off with a pretty outrageous pitch. Let's just say it's a little nuts. What made you want to be part of this project?
I just feel like I'm a pretty ballsy actor in general, a lot of the things I do. So it felt like it was up my alley. I'm a little nuts.
Elijah gets thrown into some wild situations. How did you approach playing this character who was basically trying to just keep up with the chaos? Was there any real life influence to build that character off of?
Elijah is a bit of a fish out of water. He really isolates and is kind of in his own world, kind of work obsessed. I don't think he's on a dating app. I don't think he has many male friends or camaraderie or community. So this film is really him stepping out of his comfort zone entirely. And not only does he make a new friend by doing that, he kind of tests his own fortitude. He has to kind of man up or balls up, so to speak, in the film. And that was fun to play as an actor. It's fun to have to rise to the occasion amidst feeling the ineptitude of the character.
And the comedy here is pretty bold, pretty big. What was the most fun moment for you to film?
Oh, man. I think anything with me, Mark, and Sacha Baron Cohen was a lot of fun. And anything with Molly Shannon, because I'm a big SNL nerd. I love Saturday Night Live, and she's one of my favorite people.
I can't wait to see you and Sacha together. You guys are some of them. In my opinion, you two are some of the best actors I've ever seen.
Oh,
so
thanks, man.
You two on screen together is just going to be very, very fun to see.
We got some magic moments.
You're also sharing the screen with Mark Wahlberg. What was that dynamic like behind the scenes?
Mark is super generous, super funny. He has a playfulness to him, a sense of almost like a naughty kid in school who's like, what can I get away with? Mark has a mischievous side, and he's very funny and sharp and well-read. So I got along with him swimmingly, and I hope people feel like we have good chemistry, because as we were doing it, it felt like we had good chemistry.
And I want to thank you for joining me today. Paul Walter Hauser, Balls Up is now streaming on Prime Video. So if you're looking for something fast, chaotic, and just a good time, it's ready to check out right now. Paul, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Dan.
This time of year, a lot of people are starting to look around their home and thinking, it might be time for a reset. Spring tends to bring that energy, and it doesn't always take a major project to make a space feel different. Kelly Edwards is a lifestyle and design expert, and she's got some ideas to help make these updates a little easier. Kelly, good to see you. How are you, my friend?
I am fabulous. How are you?
I'm doing hopefully as fabulous. I'm on my way there. That's why I need your help. What can you recommend when it comes to adding color to the home this spring?
Exactly. So spring obviously is about adding color to the space. Rust-Oleum got the memo on this one, and they are doing their Color Watch 2026. Now, this is amazing because they're highlighting all the trending colors that we're going to use on our DIY projects this spring. Now, in terms of color, you want to think about balanced optimism. So colors that promote maybe relaxation, but still incorporate pops of energy. Now, the color of the year is Satin Lagoon, which is this beautiful blue. You can use it on outdoor furniture. You can use it on indoor decor. Basically kind of gives you this modern elevated look. Now, it's great for small DIY projects, but you can use it on just about anything. Now, if you are a DIYer like me and you love spray paint, you are going to love their low odor spray paint. It is water-based, So it's 40% less odor. It dries quickly, no recoat window, so you can finish projects faster. Now, if you also want to take some spray paint outside, they have their Rust-Oleum Stops Rust. Now, this is great to use on anything that gets kind of beat down by the elements. And I'm talking about railings and mailboxes, or maybe your patio furniture. You might want to use it on that too. Now, you can also use it indoors on desks and dressers. So both of these products can be used indoors or they can be used outdoors. Now, there is also options for you. So they have their 5-in-1 version that actually gives you 5 spray outputs on one dial, which is amazing. And this is good for intricate detail or the people who want a little bit more control. And you can go to Rust-Oleum.com to find out more information about the color.
That's great. Spray paint with an adjustable beak. I love that. All right. So what about some ideas for creating more comfortable spaces, whether it's like at home or maybe even at a home office?
Yeah. So obviously we all want to be comfortable. We all want to be cozy. One of the ways that you can do that is with a fabulous recliner. Now, Cheetah has their Cheetah Tracy Nursery Recliner, and this is not just for nurseries. This is also for people who relax at home or from people that work from home. It's customizable. It has 2 seat widths, multiple fabric options. It is comfortable. It is smooth. It is quiet. It has 270-degree swivel. It has a gentle gliding motion. Power recline at the touch of a button, and it also has lumbar support so you can sit for long periods of time. Now, as you can see, it was obviously designed for moms and babies for feeding and bonding, but honestly, it works for just about anyone, especially maybe a caregiver at home. Safety is super important here, so it's Green Guard Gold certified. It is made with CertiPure US foam, compliant wood materials, and it has UL certified electronics. So you can be confident in the quality with this product here. You can go to cheetahliving.com. That's CHITA living.com. If you put in my promo code SPRING40, you get $40 off your next purchase.
Ooh, I sit in an Edibay the entire day, and I am dying in the little office chair that I have. So maybe I should upgrade to something like that and be like lounging. All right, so when it comes to some of those outdoor spaces, what are some ways that people actually could take those to like the next level this year?
Well, obviously, in the spring and summer months, we all want to be outdoors. That's kind of like our happy place. So if you're considering a new deck, which everybody loves to sit out on their deck in the spring and summer months, you also want to think about maintenance. Now, wood decks, traditional wood decks, require a ton of upkeep, whereas composite decking, on the other hand, Trex, super low maintenance for decades. Now, this is made from 95% reclaimed and recycled materials. It still looks like real wood. It has nature-inspired colors. It is durable. It will not crack. It will not splinter, and it never needs to be sanded or sealed. Basically, you just clean it with soap and water. It's also 100% submersible, so it's great to use on decks, docks, maybe even poolside, doesn't matter. Trex.com, Trex.com is where you need to go for that. But let's say that you have an elevated deck and you want to utilize the space under the deck. You definitely need a drainage system for that. Now, this is called Trex Rain Escape. And basically what it is, it's a system that diverts any of the water kind of away from the deck. So it keeps the area beneath the deck completely dry. This gives you more usable space. You can relax, you can entertain, you can safely run any gas lines, electrical lines, power lights, ceiling fans. You can even do appliances down there. Basically, under the deck space will function like any other room in your home. So you want to go to TrexRainEscape.com for more information about that. But these are all great things for the spring.
Look at that. You got deck aids for decks to last decades.
I saw what you did there.
I was trying to be clever there. Did that work? Okay. All right. Where can people go if they want more information or maybe some more inspiration, Kelly?
They can obviously go to any of the brand's websites, or they can go to my Instagram, which is Kelly Edwards Inc.
Kelly Edwards, I want to thank you for joining me today, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Now, nobody wants to think about it, but losing a pet happens, and when it does, time matters. There's a free tool using AI that's helping bring pets back faster. So Chelsey Staley's here, president of Petco Love, and she's ready to talk to us right now. Good morning, Chelsey.
Thank you for letting me be here. I really appreciate it.
It looks like you've helped reunite over 250,000 pets. Can you break down what Petco Love Lost is and how that happened?
250,000, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So Petco Love Lost is the nation's largest free lost and found pet database. It uses AI photo matching technology to search for potential matches. And so if your pet, let's say, went missing, you would upload a clear photo of your pet to Petco Love Lost. Good Samaritans who find pets do the same. We also integrate with shelters like Champaign County Humane Society and APL in Champaign, Illinois. And then we also integrate with various social media platforms like Neighbors. And then your pet's photo would be searched against hundreds of thousands of other photos in the database to serve up matches and get your pet home as quickly as possible.
Wow, that's amazing. Talk about fast service, huh? Finding out where they are. That's awesome.
Absolutely. It's self-serve.
Yeah.
You know, the shelters are not open 24/7, but the internet definitely is.
Yeah, definitely. So if your pet goes missing, what should you do right away?
If your pet goes missing, and it's very likely, don't take it personal. You're not a bad pet parent. 1 in 3 pets will go missing in their lifetime. Don't panic, but do act quickly. Every minute counts. And so go to petcolovelost.org, upload a clear photo of your pet so it immediately starts searching, and then we'll tee you up with a toolkit with lots of tips and tricks for what to do next, including social media assets that you can share on your own pages like your neighborhood HOA, etc. We do reunite a pet every 4 minutes.
And this is a kind of a reminder for the people sitting at home. This is a perfect time to take a picture of your pet right now if you haven't done so in the recent times. I see your little friend there poking out.
My little friend, she's waking up. Yeah, this is Lipstick Liz. She's 3.5 weeks old. We named her after the makeup artist in studio. So she's been on and off napping all morning.
That's awesome.
But yeah, you mentioned taking a good photo of your pet. There is no time like now to prepare for your pet to go missing. And so while you have a clear head, take a good clear photo of your animal, upload it on Petco Love Lost, and mark it safe as home. So if it does go missing, you can just log in quickly, hit one button, and start searching immediately.
And on the prevention side, what can people be doing at home right now?
So in addition to putting your pet on Petco Love Lost proactively, Petco Love Lost is one tool in the toolbox. And so we definitely recommend, and my dogs at home all have collars and tags. They're all microchipped as well. But then utilizing the technology to work for you is definitely another tool in your toolbox that we want people to think of first when their pet goes missing.
With that many pets being reunited, I'd like to hear an actual reunion story. Do you have anything for us?
250,000 of them. Yeah. No, my favorite, I live in San Antonio, Texas, and last summer during the Central Texas flooding, a senior blind dog named Sandy went missing. And she was missing for more than 30 days. You can imagine how upset and devastated her family was, probably thinking she didn't make it just due to being blind. But more than 30 days later, she was reunited safe and sound thanks to Petco Love Lost.
Well, I know we've got all the pet lovers on the edge of their seat to find out how they can get involved and where they can check out more information. Please share that with us.
Sure. So for more information and to register your pet as safe at home, you can go to petcolovelost.org.
Chelsey, Staley, I think it's about time for me to take my cat nap. So thank you so much for joining us, and you have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
A lot of students are getting ready for the SATs right now. And for some families, it's still a big question. Does it really matter anymore? There are also more free tools than ever to help students prepare and feel confident going in. Priscilla Rodriguez with the College Board is joining us with what families should know right now. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Why should students still consider taking the SAT?
So the SAT is a pretty important part of students' kind of college and career planning journey as they finish up high school. And that's really for 2 main reasons. The first is college applications. So coming out of the pandemic, there are now colleges that require test scores and colleges that make it optional. But having an SAT score keeps all of your options open. It also gives you a measure that colleges trust and understand that shows them what you've learned in reading, writing, and math, regardless of where you live in the country or what high school you go to. And having that single standardized measure is getting more and more important in a world where there's increasing high school grade inflation and AI is being more widely used. And then the second reason is for scholarships. We know so many families are worried about how they're going to pay for college. SAT scores can unlock scholarships for students, which can make all the difference in their ability to go on to college.
What are some free resources students can use to get ready?
A lot has changed also in terms of how students can get ready for the SAT. As a mission-driven nonprofit organization, we made a commitment about a decade ago to ensure that all students have access to great practice for free. So fast forward 10 years, and here's really what students and families should know. The first is the first place, the most important thing to do is to download Blue Book. That's the app where you're going to take the SAT on test day. Inside of Blue Book, which is always free to download, are 8 full-length official SAT practice tests. They look, act, and are scored just like the real thing. And so when you take one, you get a score back, you get an analysis of your answers, and you get insights about which of the reading, writing, and math skills you do have the most room to improve in. And then you can take those insights to our partners at Khan Academy. They host official SAT practice. They have video-based lessons, tutorials, and practice questions to help students refresh or even build the skills they most need to focus on. And then the last free resource I want to mention is our newest one. We recently announced a partnership with another nonprofit organization called Schoolhouse.World. They host what they call SAT boot camps. These are groups of students who gather by video for a few weeks before an SAT, led by a student who's taken the SAT and scored well on it. That student tutor has official practice materials and a curriculum that they use to help their peers build their confidence and preparation. We don't want money to stand between any student and a sense of feeling ready to do their best work on the SAT.
Okay. Now tell us, how can SAT scores help students think about their future plans?
So the SAT it's a test. We won't pretend that it's not, but I hope that students and families can also think about it as a tool. It's a tool, as I mentioned, for showing what you've learned in a standardized, trusted way to colleges. It's a tool for unlocking scholarships. And increasingly, it's a tool for helping students think about skills and interests and what that means for their career aspirations. We have a free website called bigfuture.org that has scholarship, college, and career search tools, and their students can match their skills with their interests and really start thinking about where they want to go and the kind of education that's needed to get them there.
So the test is digital now. How does Blue Book keep things secure?
That's right. That Blue Book student testing app I mentioned is where students take the SAT. It's also where you practice. And on test day, Blue Book completely locks down a student's computer. They cannot get out and look at anything else. They've got 2 hours to show what they've learned in reading, writing, and math. The next layer of test security we bring is the fact that as a digital test, we can now create unique combinations of SAT test questions for each student. So no longer is it every student on the same day getting the same questions. And then the third layer is that while the SAT is digital now, it is not a take-it-home test. Students gather in classrooms with other students and trained adult proctors who are there to make sure everything is both smooth and secure.
It's a lot of great information. So where can people go to find out more?
The best place to go is SAT.org. There you'll see upcoming test days, you can register for an SAT, and importantly, those free resources, including those practice resources I mentioned, are all linked there.
Priscilla Rodriguez, thank you so much for all of this information and for taking time out to talk to us about it.
Thanks, really appreciate it.
That's it for this week's Rise and Unwind. I'm AV. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you want to keep up with the show, then you can find us on social media. Just search Rise Unwind on IG or Facebook. We've also got YouTube at Rise Unwind. You can find everything in one place at riseunwindtv.com. Thanks again for watching, and we'll talk at you soon.